It's about that time I talk about this.
If it wasn't for Tony, oh.
Guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a very interesting video, and this video is going to be about who's the greatest entertainer of all time. And I know a lot of people kind of like, what? But if you see the title, you already know. And like many of my videos, this discussion came from Twitter, and this is a discussion I've been seeing for a while. Like especially in the last 3 years or so, I've been seeing this topic brought up a lot. And I'm like, down. The three main people were putting out there was Michael Jackson, Beyonce, and Chris Brown. The thing with Chris Brown is his dancing makes about 60% of his artistry. So it's like when he first came out, he was fresh. It was a new look. It was a new sound. And he was like the new kid on the block, but his songs were dope. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm pretty sure people around my age or even older, yeah, have them high school, middle school memories of his songs. And he was dancing, he was a good dancer and everything like that. But I feel like over the years, Chris has got lazy. He's been redundant. They said his last 100 songs sound the same. He knows Chris' talent, besides dancing and doing backflips, is making 10 different versions of the same song. So it's like, and then people say, oh, he had one of the greatest performances of all time. And what performance was that? Michael Jackson tribute at the BET Awards. Y'all saying Chris' best performance is him emulating Michael Jackson. What does that tell you? So Chris and his backflips can go that way. Now, we have Michael Jackson and Beyonce. And I know a lot of people are kind of like, people's obvious answer is Michael Jackson, Michael Jackson, Michael Jackson. Like mine's. I mean, hello. You know what I'm saying? But that's not I've seen a lot of course, Beyonce fans and other people on Twitter and even on YouTube and comment sections trying to go back and forth and debate about why Beyonce is the greatest, not even the greatest entertainer or performer of this generation, but why she's the greatest performer or entertainer of all time. Like, not just the last 10, 20 years. They're trying to say she's the best that ever did it. She's this, she's that. Nobody can beat her. Oh, she done beat Michael Jackson. I'm like, now here's the thing with Beyonce, right? First of all, my answer to the question is Michael Jackson, of course. I'm gonna break it down. The thing with Beyonce fans is you say one little critique about Beyonce is, oh, you hate black women. You hate seeing black women win. You hate seeing black women at the top. But these same fans, most of them, they be the same ones to tear black women down. They be the same ones to tear other black women down in the industry if they're not Beyonce. They be the same ones to make other black women in the industry seem lesser than Beyonce. And let's give some examples. They be the same ones that don't think twice about making Aaliyah death jokes. But one little critique about Beyonce and it's like, oh, you don't like seeing her win. You don't like seeing black women win. Let's take a look. Let me just think about some of the artists, some of the black women the Beehive likes to tear down in favor of Beyonce. Let's see. We got Kelly, Latavia, Michelle, Latoya, Jennifer Hudson, Rihanna, Sierra, Carrie Hilson, who else? Let's the wheels are turning. Who else? Oh, and recently Janet Jackson, it was a big day where they was trying to downplay Janet Jackson in favor of Beyonce. Oh, let's not forget, it was a thing with Aretha Franklin. And it was even a thing where they even it was a tweet that went viral trying to say how Beyonce was so much better than Etta James when she played her in the movie, and how Etta James was so ugly and Beyonce sang much better than her and Etta James could have sang, all because it was a little rumor that Etta James didn't like the way Beyonce did the song in the movie or whatever, Cadillac Records. So I'm just like, wow, y'all have so much to say about people critiquing Beyonce, but y'all will go ham. Y'all will troll anybody and try to make any other artist seem like trash compared to her. But this is my channel, and I'm gonna do what I want. I'm gonna say what I want. And with Beyonce is, she's definitely talented. Nobody can take her talent away. Nobody can take her drive away. Nobody can take her hard work away. And the thing with Beyonce fans is, they like to say her work ethic, her work ethic, her work ethic. Nobody has her work ethic. She worked hard for this. Oh, when you try to say this, and say, oh, of course her hard work got her to the top. But y'all be a fool to think hard work and catchy songs is the only thing that gets you to the top. I mean, come on. It's some of the catchiest songs that didn't even top. Some of the catchiest songs didn't even crack the top 30. And that's because of bad management, bad promotion, behind the scenes stuff. You can have the best song, the best, the radio could play it as many times as you want. You can have the best song, the radio could play it as many times. But if you don't have that strong background, the strong behind the scenes stuff, your career and your songs, everything like that is not going to go nowhere. But that's a whole nother video for a whole nother day. But back to what I'm saying. Where people like to say, oh, they try to say like, oh, Beyonce's the standard, right? That's another thing. Beyonce's the standard. But it's like, there's so many, not saying this other artists. And the thing with Beyonce is, I can say, she's like the complete package. Beyonce over the years has, with her work ethic, she has been able to build and create and mold and hire a great team of people to make her look good. And you would say, okay, any artist does that. But the thing is, it's like Beyonce, even in certain ways, it's like she doesn't, like, she takes the credit for everything. So it's like, the dancing, the creative this, the dancing, the tours, everything like that. Where it's like, let's give a round of applause to Beyonce's choreographers, because the way people be saying it is like Beyonce's the best dancer, the best performer of all time. You would think Beyonce comes up with her choreography, but she doesn't. Michael Jackson came up with most of his choreography. He had help, and it's credited. It's videos, it's footage. It's footage of Beyonce doing choreography too. But it's like, when you look at the magnitude of their shows, of course, it's high production, high value. There's a lot of that entertainment aspect into it, right? It's intriguing, it's eye-catching. The thing with Beyonce is, she flips her hair a lot. She dances in heels. And people are like, oh, Beyonce, she dances in heels. Michael Jackson just, and they try to make it seem like, oh, Michael Jackson, all he did was do the moonwalk and spin around and do little robot moves. Really? Have you ever watched? I'm not going to put no clips because, Michael Jackson estate don't play when it comes to copyright on YouTube, so I'm not going to put no clips. But just search Michael Jackson live. Look at the first 3 videos that come up and tell me that's not one of the best live natural talent performances you ever seen, as far as the vocals, the dancing, the whole stage production. And this is in the 80s and 90s. This is not even now. You know what I'm saying? And so the thing is, it's like they're trying to make it seem like Beyonce is, oh, she does it better than anybody else. And she is a complete package when it comes to vocals and dancing, and she keeps up with her stamina and all that. Michael Jackson used to have grown men, women, and children passing out at his concerts. Before he even started dancing, his presence on the stage would make people pass out. That's how huge he was. Beyonce doesn't have that same effect to me. She's just an extremely popular artist who has been able to keep herself current over the last years. But yeah, she doesn't have that same effect at all. You know what I'm saying? If you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying.
My opinion, right? Okay. Now,
you think about it. Michael Jackson, dance moves, his choreography, any type of thing he did that had to do with dance and performing, they made a whole Michael Jackson video game. One of the best selling video games of the last 10 years based on Michael Jackson's dancing. Do y'all think they would make a video game about Beyonce's dancing? I'm not saying it's impossible, but they made a whole top selling video game based on Michael Jackson's dancing alone. That's how iconic, that's how legendary, that's how talented he was with the dancing. And half of those moves, he choreographed himself. The thing with Beyonce is she takes choreography and she adds a little extra oomph to it. You know what I'm saying? Michael Jackson, he had his own style, he had his own rhythm, he followed his own beat. Michael Jackson was just otherworldly. Michael Jackson was a genius in that level. Beyonce, she has people do stuff for her And not saying she doesn't have creative control over this or that, but she has people do stuff for her, and she's she's a star. She takes the credit for everything, and it's just like, oh, Beyonce does it all. She does it all. She's a standard. She knows how to do everything. She's the best. But it's like it's a whole team of 100 people that helped her get to where she is. So it's just like when people say she's the best to ever do it. This is not saying that Beyonce. This is a part of what people feel like she's overrated. When people call Beyonce overrated, they're not talking about her talent. That's what I think people misconstrue. When people say overrated, they're not talking about her talent. They're talking about the overexposure, the way that people make it seem like she's the top tier, she's the God's best. Like nobody can do it better than her. Anybody compared to Beyonce is trash. To the point where y'all saying she's better than Michael Jackson, and that people have made it to where it's like they put it in a scenario where it's like, oh, sometimes the student surpasses the teacher. Like Beyonce is influenced by Michael Jackson, but she has surpassed him in some type of way. Where has she surpassed him? In Neverland? Because she didn't surpass him here. That's just my opinion on it. Like, I get it. Beyonce puts on entertaining shows and everything like that, but do y'all know Michael Jackson, at one point, Michael Jackson was the most famous, not even the most famous music artist. He was the most famous person alive. Like, Thriller is the bestseller. You know what? I can sit here and go through all of Michael Jackson's stats, but y'all already know. I don't need to sit here and do that. But Michael Jackson has the most famous music. Michael Jackson has the most famous music videos, the biggest selling, most successful album of all time. And it's just like, y'all really want to do this? Do y'all really want to do this? Hey, Thriller is his best selling album, most successful album of all time. Most successful album of all time. But that's not even his best work. And that says a lot. You know what I'm saying? And this is in the era before streaming, before Spotify, before this, before that, before social media, And to be fair, in the beginning of Beyonce's career, there was no social media, there was no streaming, but she has benefited from that. Michael Jackson had all his success the natural, raw way. When you had to go out and buy CDs, you had to request songs on the radio, you had to wait for the music videos to come on MTV. What she also broke a barrier for that because they didn't want to play black artists before that. Now you can just go on YouTube and search anything, it comes right up. All the barriers Michael Jackson broke, and y'all just saying like. And another thing with Michael Jackson is all this stuff with Neverland and his legacy. It feels like his legacy is already trying to be erased by certain people and certain forms of media. And for y'all to just come in and say, oh, Beyonce surpassed him. Oh, Michael Jackson was the past. He's nostalgia. Beyonce is the present. She's the future. She's the best that ever did it. She's the greatest of all time. Really? No. Nah. No. And the thing with Michael Jackson is, over the years, he has been able to keep up his artistic integrity. Artists, as an artist's career progress, they can't keep making the same music, keep making the same sounds. They have to progress. And Michael Jackson did. My favorite album of his, I think Michael Jackson at his creative peak was the Bad album. From the music videos to his tours to the, his overall energy and creativity around that era, that was his best to me. And even as he got older, his music became more diverse. His music became more unique. You know what I'm saying? Even up until 2001, which is like, that was in way past his heyday. In the early 2000s, the music industry had changed in so many different ways than Thriller, when Thriller came out. But You Rock My World, Butterflies, he still had that sound. He still had that Michael Jackson sound. He still kept his artistic integrity. Beyonce, people would like to say, when people compare, older artists to Beyonce, they like to say nostalgia. But a lot of people don't realize Beyonce is also a nostalgic artist too. Like, a lot of people don't like to see it, but most of the tweets that go viral about Beyonce, more than half of them, is about her old music, her old tours, her old performances. Like, people don't realize it. Beyonce is not she's a current artist, but I feel like people enjoy her more for her nostalgia the nostalgia she gives, her old performances, her old songs. She's smart and she's clever and she's strategic in a way of she knows how to keep current. You know, doing songs with Nicki Minaj. She was the hottest rapper at the time. She was the hottest female rapper at the time, doing songs with Nicki Minaj. If y'all didn't know, she was going to do a song with Cardi B when Cardi B was the hottest female rapper at the time. But one of the engineers, like, apparently, like, leaked the track or something like that on his Instagram story. So she scrapped that because, you know, Beyonce likes surprises. That messed up her strategy of, like, oh, Beyonce and Cardi B. And then recently, she did a song with Megan Thee Stallion. Like, Beyonce knows how to stay current. Even she got this documentary, this movie thing. She got this documentary thing with, she got this deal with Disney Plus, the fastest rising streaming service besides Netflix and Hulu. Like, Beyonce knows how to stay current, but people don't realize she's mostly appreciated for the nostalgia she gives. But a lot of people don't like to acknowledge it or realize it. And to be honest, I said this before, I like the old Beyonce better than the new Beyonce. I said this in one of my old videos, but that's when nobody was really watching my videos, so I don't think nobody really saw that. But the old Beyonce is better than the new Beyonce, especially her artistic, you know, her artistic integrity. Because to be honest, I feel like Solange is a more artistic music artist than her. Beyonce follows the trends. How you go from making songs like Halo, Irreplaceable, this thing, you know, Single Ladies and Baby Boy, like that was Beyonce really doing, she was really at the top of her game then. Now she's doing songs like Future. She's rapping and singing over a trap beat. And that's not to say she can't explore different music, but it's like, really, Beyonce? You know the trend. Future, that Future sound, that trap beat, that singing, rapping, da-da-da. You doing that now, Beyonce? Really? For example, an artist like Janet Jackson, over 30 years of her career, Janet Jackson's current music that she puts out now, it still has that Janet Jackson-esque sound to it. You know, Janet Jackson could have easily made a trap song where she's rapping and singing and doing like a Fetty Wap, where she's, you know, rapping or singing like Fetty Wap or Travis Scott. But that's not Janet Jackson. Janet Jackson has her artistic integrity. I feel like Beyonce has lost that a long time ago. And this is just to say that Beyonce is a great artist. She's a great entertainer. I'll be a fool to sit up here and say, oh, she can't dance, she can't sing, her shows aren't entertaining. But people need to stop trying to rewrite history, and people need to stop trying to like etch out our legends. People need to stop going to the extremes. To say that Beyonce is over Michael Jackson, she trumped Michael Jackson, she bumped Michael Jackson to the side, she been surpassed him, she's a better performer than him. This is all opinion, but this is my opinion. She has not. Beyonce is getting up there. She has a whole bunch of awards, she has a whole bunch of accolades, she has the talent. But Michael Jackson was a once in a lifetime artist. There's people that live in villages and huts in the smallest parts of the smallest countries in Africa and South America who have no cable, no internet. They live in the forests and jungles that know who Michael Jackson is. That's how far Michael Jackson's impact has reached. That's how wide known, that's how popular, that's how entertaining, that's how famous, that's how talented Michael Jackson is and was. You know what I'm saying? And this 10 years after his death, 2-year-olds know who Michael Jackson is. That's not to say Beyonce is famous. Beyonce is a famous artist. But compared to Michael Jackson, that Michael Jackson level, nobody, not even saying Beyonce, nobody has reached his level. And that's just the facts. Before Michael Jackson, the other two artists I could say who had that same hype and hysteria, I could say maybe Elvis Presley and the Beatles. And I feel like in the 80s and 90s, Michael Jackson surpassed that. You know what I'm saying? So to say that Beyonce, of all people, Beyonce, because she's popular and she swings her hair, she does little dances and heels, and she knows how to pick up choreography, she can sing very well. I'll give her that. She puts on entertaining shows, and she puts on a great show with a She puts on a great show with a team of people behind her. But to say that she has surpassed Michael Jackson, it's just a lie. I'm sorry, it's just a lie. Let's not forget all the times Beyonce stole from other artists from Europe, video concepts and all different types of things, not thinking people would notice. And when she got exposed, she was inspired. Michael Jackson's most famous dance is the moonwalk. Michael Jackson could have easily took credit for that because he was the most famous person that ever did it. Now, Michael Jackson got the moonwalk from a man, and he got that moonwalk from seeing it in a park. Michael Jackson didn't have to give credit for that, but he had no problem giving credit for that. Beyonce gives credit, but she does it in like a, she gives credit in a way where she still gives herself credit. You know what I'm saying? Whereas like, Beyonce, you took that from that artist in Russia. Why are you making it seem like this was your idea? Come on. Nobody's saying Beyonce's not talented. Nobody's saying she's not one of the dopest artists out, one of the dopest artists of the last 20 years. Nobody's saying she hasn't worked hard to get to where she is. But to say that she's better than Michael Jackson? No. Y'all gotta be smoking the finest to say she's better than Michael Jackson. I'm just saying. I didn't mean for this to be like a critique Beyonce video, like, oh, everything bad about Beyonce, but it's like the way people have been going, the way people go on about her is like, she's talented, yes. She's one of the greatest to do it in her generation, in our generation, yes. But to just say she's better than all the legends now, it's a matter of opinion at the end of the day. But my opinion is she has not surpassed Michael Jackson in any type of way. She's getting up there 20 years into the game where she's reaching that legendary status, that iconic status, but it's like, it's not on Michael Jackson's level. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my 2 cents on the whole thing. What do y'all think about this? Who do y'all think is the greatest entertainer of all time? Who do y'all think is the greatest entertainer of this generation? If you think it's Beyonce, why? If you don't think it's Beyonce, then who is it? But in other words, I encourage y'all to look beyond the mainstream. You'll discover some dope artists, Some of the dopest artists don't have the mainstream platforms. So, like I said, that's just my 2 cents on the whole thing. Michael Jackson's the greatest. He's the king. He's the GOAT. And nobody can take his place. Nobody will ever take his place. He was a once-in-a-lifetime artist, and it is what it is. So anyways, guys, let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Thanks for watching and listening. I'll see y'all in the next video.